Right. You're correct. Actually, it was 53 years ago today, on July 21st, 1972, that George Carlin, he was arrested for performing the 7 words you can never say on television in Summerfest in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Right, yeah, you got it, it's up there now. Yeah. He was charged with violating obscenity laws, but the case was dismissed in December of 72. Yep. Ruled that Carlin's language was definitely indecent, but it wasn't obscene. The following year, after a radio skit performed the 7 words, some father heard it, and his kids were listening to it, and no, I'm not going to say them. You've all heard them. You've heard the skit. I'm serious. I seriously, I know I can say them, but on YouTube, Spotify, you can say them, but I just don't feel like I want to say the 7 words that you can't say on television, and now you can't say them on radio. Anyway, once the FCC got involved, it brings us to today's standards where you can't say those 7 words plus a whole lot more. Well, fuck, that doesn't seem fair, does it? You knew I was good. You knew it, you know? All right. Yes, sir, Andy. Yep, 7 words. Radio, they're deadly in radio. Oh, jeez, you can get fined. Oh, yeah, and TV, Suits, if you watch Suits, they're cursing the whole show. So it just depends what network. Radio, though, you can't say the word I just say. All right, before we get any further, please remember to give this podcast a like. That's over here, down there on the left. Okay, there's the thumbs up, thumbs down. Give me the old thumbs up. Let me know I'm doing a good job. And if you haven't already, right down here, on the right side there is that oblong button that says subscribe. Hit that button. That way you'll be notified of any and all new content. And you'll have a chance to win fabulous prizes. Got any polls up today, Andy? You do not. I thought we were going to have polls up all the time. Maybe we should put a poll up that says, should you get on your job and start putting polls up? All right, where's my prop? There we go. Yesterday's Great Falls Cadet. And this morning's podcast is brought to you in part each and every Monday morning by our good friends down at the Great Falls Gazette. Locally owned, locally operated, with all the local news that's fit to print. Did I make the front cover? Let's see. You know, if I ever do make the front, how long did it take Dr. Hook to make the cover of the Rolling Stone? I mean, the fair's coming, but I'm not here. And once I make the cover, if I ever do it, that'll take 2 minutes off of our minute 40, take part of our skit away. So, but if I ever do make the cover, you know the drill, Andy, everybody. Gonna buy 5 copies for my mother. Hey, gonna see my smiling face on the cover of the Great Falls Gazette. Oh, yeah, we'll probably make Crimestoppers back here. America's Most Wanted. Who we got in here? Oh, look at Katrina there. She's a criminal possession. contempt, expired residency, driving while suspended, holy mackerel, a whole offense. Don't do the crime if you can't do the time. Come on, Great Falls, let's get these people arrested and thrown in jail. All right. Where are we at here, boy? Where are we at? Where are we at, Andy? Good morning? That's it? Just good morning? What, it's a little after 8? What, about 7:05 after 8 now? It's a little cloudy out there on a July 21st, Monday morning. Here comes that rainy day, feeling again. Bam, 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 bam. Looks like we got a front coming through for the next couple of days, cooling things off a little bit, and then what? 90s again by Friday. It's nice to always have a little reprieve of those 90s, right? Yeah, sure is. Oh boy. Like I said, it is July 21st, and a big happy birthday to Cat Stevens, who turns 77 today. Everybody jump on the peace train, pow, pow. No doubt. If you remember, Stevens walked away from his career after selling, 100 million records? Tea and the Tellerman. Oh, yeah, some good albums. 1977, he walked away, converted to Islam, and we never heard from him again. Then 2006, he released a album, what was it called? Throw it up, Another Cup. And in 2016, he staged the musical Moon Shadow. I've been chased by a moon shadow, moon shadow, moon shadow. Happy birthday to Cat Stevens. And on our birthday list, also, Robin Williams was born this day in 1951. Sure do miss him. Man. Yeah. Yes, sir. So I've been swamped all this last week. Messages, personal PMs, phones blowing up, videos people are sending me. And it's the video migration of Yellowstone, the animals leaving Yellowstone Park that authorities say isn't really happening. I've gotten dozens messages last week or so. It's first of all, I didn't realize that people were paying attention to the type of content that I like to do. Yeah, it's always the sky is falling, the world's going to end. Right, yeah. It's always one catastrophe after another. Boy, we love that stuff. Asteroids, you name it. Earthquakes. Yeah, all of that stuff. So, yeah, like I said, I didn't realize that people were paying attention to what I do on Mondays. So first of all, thanks. Thank you so much for the support and the videos. So, are animals actually getting out of Dodge? Okay. Are they getting out of Yellowstone? Evidently, from what the videos show, which we'll elaborate on, the answer is yes. Or is it? Authorities in the park and the government officials, they're saying, oh, not so fast, cowboy. But since when are we believing anyone? When it comes to disaster scenarios or disaster, the government officials. I mean, seriously, have you watched The Walking Dead? Or 28 Days Later? We've got everything under control, and that's the last word, So, it's always some government official up on the podium, some official up there in a white coat or, we've got nothing to fear but fear itself. Dude, there's zombies outside the office, okay? And then, once you hear that, though, it's always like, it's like, boom! We're in the middle of the next disaster, natural or unnatural. We're just there, all right? We're there. So, let's pick this apart and figure out what do we know and what do we not know, okay? We don't know. Do we know it's Walking Dead yet? No, we don't. 28 no. All right. Well, Yellowstone, all right, let's just break it all down. Okay, Yellowstone Park, Yellowstone area is a super volcano. It's not sitting on one or around one. It is one. All right? There's the first thing you got to realize. It's a super volcano. It's the Yellowstone caldera. Okay. It's like the basin of the summit of a volcano. All right. Like if you see photos or pictures of drone coverage and they're flying over, la-di-da, we're flying over the volcano, right? And it's this big crater, okay? And you see the lava, the magma. It's magma. You see the lava, the magma. Have you seen? Yeah. And it's bubbling and there's smoke and steam and all of that, right? And little pockets are erupting. Okay, poop. Little lava pockets are, you've seen the videos, okay? All right. That's what Yellowstone Park is. It's just the crust is overgrown. There's trees there, but the geysers and everything, they're like vents. Exactly, they're vents. They're steam vents, lava vents, magma vents that release the pressure that's constantly building up. Okay, so again, you got to realize Yellowstone Park is that crater in the top of the volcano. That's where it's in it. Okay, it's just the rest is underground. Simple. And some of it's above ground. If you've looked at the elevation maps, you'll see how the park itself is a little elevated. Why do I have to sit up when you say elevated? You have to sit up straight. Say elevated. Now, over 3 million, I couldn't believe this, 3 million people visit the Yellowstone Park annually. 3 million. 3 million people go visit the park. And they're just walking around on an active volcano. I remember when I was in high school, was it the year after high school? I went down there with Leonard Lyons and Don Boffman, and we went and spent the summer, or half the summer, and just hanging out at Yellowstone Park. It was the 70s. It was a different era. It was, the park was commercial, but it was nowhere near what it's like now. Nowhere near. So, like I said, the people are going there and they're hanging around and walking around. La-di-da, we're on an active volcano. What could go wrong? Well, it's not just Yellowstone. It's the whole area of Yellowstone. It's the whole Northwest. It's that whole ring of fire. There's been earthquakes and volcanic activity. Mount Hood, Mount Rainier, Mount St. Helens. Remember when Mount St. Helens blew? It was just boom, you woke up the next morning, go out to get in your car, and it's like, there's a bunch of ash in your car. What the hell? Everything was gray. It's strange. It was strange. But anyway, like I said, Mount Hood, Mount Rainier, Mount St. Helens, Oregon, Alaska, even Hawaii. We got a whole lot of shaking going on. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah, I mean, come on, there is. There's earthquakes everywhere, volcanoes. Scientists have definitely seen an uptick of stuff going on. The Alaska volcano, that's called Mount Spur, like spurs, wearing spurs on your boot. Giddy up! Yeah, I don't wear spurs. Do I look like a spur kind of guy? For heaven's sakes. The Alaska volcano, that's like this Mount Spur, that's located right near Anchorage. That's like, isn't that their biggest city, is Anchorage? Yeah, la-di-da, let's build our biggest city by a volcano. An active one, make sure about that. It's been, that Mount Spur's been giving off elevated levels, again, like Yellowstone. It's releasing gas, releasing this. What's that? Oh, it's just a volcano burbling and stumbling, you know. It's like, yeah, yeah, right. And what is it, Mount Adams, too? There's so many of them. Mount Adams, which is also Washington State's largest volcano, it's been bumbling and stumbling, just you know, since March. So the whole area, okay? The whole area, yippee, we're all going to die. The whole area is just churning and turning and rumbling. You got Oregon, everybody, yeah. So, like I said, though, you know, it's like, okay, we got all this stuff going on. And so is that stuff really going on? Yes, it is. Scientists are telling us that all that stuff is. We're seeing more earthquakes. We're seeing more volcanic eruptions. We're seeing this. We're seeing that. Okay, we're seeing stuff. But like I said, I've gotten quite a few videos from folks, as well as watching viral videos, social media. I've been on Instagram, been on Facebook. Right, there's all this stuff. YouTube, there's all this stuff everywhere. And in the past couple of weeks, James in Helena, thanks James for watching. He sent me a video of hundreds, and I mean hundreds and hundreds of deer outside of Helena that appeared to be out of nowhere, and they were all headed north. And then another video I got from last week from Josh here in Great Falls, and again, thanks Josh for the video and for watching. This was up in Skyline area where there was hundreds and hundreds of deer congregated and packs moving. Now, our Fish, Wildlife, and Park officials people say, and there's seasonal migration is the main reason for animal movement, not only in the park, but in our whole region as well. Okay, we live in a region where it's not unusual. It's not unusual to see deer in the neighborhood. No, it's not. It's not unusual. Yeah, but it's not. I live in the Riverview area. It's not unusual to see deer in the neighborhood. Okay, so we realize living here, and the authorities, winter approaches, they move. They move to lower elevations where food's more prominent. Bison usually always move between summer and winter ranges. Okay. But bison don't usually get confused and dive into a hot spring as we saw a month ago in Yellowstone Park. So was that odd that we saw a bison jump into the hot springs? Yes, that was odd. Does that mean that Yellowstone is going to erupt and all the animals are freaking out? Fill that 11. Okay? Remember now that weather events can cause animals to move and migrate. We're in the middle of a drought here in Montana. Okay? Especially in the especially in the west central, north central, southwest part of the states, Yellowstone area, they're all dry. It's dry in Wyoming. So there would be reasons for animals to be migrating, for animals to be leaving the park or moving around our area. Let's take a look. Yeah, there's a lot of deer in the region. Like I just said, they're everywhere. But let's take a closer look at what's really going on now. Okay, in the migrating. In Yellowstone, okay, in the videos that we're seeing in the Yellowstone Park, in the Yellowstone area, and what's going on with them, the bison are leaving. The grizzlies are leaving. The deer, the elk, the porcupines, the badgers, even the mountain lions are leaving. Yeah, the mountain lions are leaving. Not to be confused with the Detroit Lions that are going to be pretty good this year, I think. But the mountain lions are leaving. And it sparked a flurry. I got just this cornucopia of online posts and segments and people opinions and speculation, and you all know me. I love a good conspiracy theory. I love one. I'm just as much as the next guy, just as much as you are. You all probably tune in just to see what conspiracy I got going next. But have you seen some of these pictures that are circulating? I mean, some of them show the animals, they're walking down the road in line, evacuating in an orderly fashion out of the park. I mean, can you say artificial intelligence? Can you say AI? I mean, one clip shows a large group of grizzlies walking in line down the road, leaving the park with signs and stuff. And first of all, grizzlies are like solitary animals. They don't gather together like that unless it's a salmon run and they're all, yeah, let's salmon run, let's get some food, you know. But they're certainly not going to walk together in unison down the road. And did you see the other one? And another one shows packs of mountain lions moving together. Again, walking down the road in an orderly fashion. AI is amazing right now, yeah. But it's got to be fabricated AI. It has to be. Because first of all, mountain lions don't migrate. Okay, they don't migrate. What they do is they follow a loop, a weekly, bi-weekly, what is it, a weekly to 10-day loop in their territory. So you're not going to see them running down the road together and hitchhiking the road, ride, hitching a ride, a thumbs up, a mountain lions, come on, man. You're not going to see them running down the road together in a group. Okay? Yeah, I mean, you gotta really pay. AI I've seen pictures of AI that I can't even tell that they're AI. So you've gotta. I mean, I've seen some that were circulated with bison. Bison are moving in mass, and there's snow on the ground. And I'm thinking to myself, wait a minute, we're in drought conditions, and they're showing videos of bison supposedly migrating out of Yellowstone Park because it's going to blow with snow on the ground. Okay? Snow on the ground, people. I'm telling you, it's got snow on the ground. You got to pay attention to what you're watching here. Okay? I pulled up a video this morning. Andy, you still got it? Yeah, I can't show you, but I still got it before showtime. This morning it showed velociraptors. Y'all know what velociraptors are. They're leaving Yellowstone Park en masse. Yeah, I guess now Yellowstone Park is now Jurassic Park. And the chaos fairy, and everybody's there. I mean, come on. The velociraptors. I'm serious. It's right here. They're walking down the same road that the grizzlies were walking down, and that the bison were walking down, and the mountain lions. People are just like pulling up AI. Have a bunch of bison migrating out of Yellowstone Park, and the next thing you know, here we go. So, how do we go there, Andy? Do I believe? Let's see. So do I believe that animals can sense impending disasters and scenarios? Do I believe that animals have a sixth sense? That animals can predict things? Yes, I do. Look at service animals, how they're trained, okay? So yes, I do. Do I also believe that the Yellowstone cauldron is way overdue and could blow its top any day now? Yeah, I also believe that. Okay? But in this day of AI, with it just absolutely taken over everything. Do I believe that some of the photos that I'm seeing? Absolutely not. Okay? I've lived in Montana a long time. I kind of know what, I'm not always, I haven't lived in this city. I've lived in Montana. I've been up in in the mountains, I know. And I know that the grizzly bears and mountain lions don't get in the line. Come on, get in line. Left, right, left. I mean, come on, man. They're marching out of the park. Grizzly bears, mountain lions, those velociraptors, they're walking single file out of Yellowstone. Or is it Jurassic? I mean, boy, AI is it's making conspiracy, it's just ruining them. Now, don't get me wrong. Yellowstone will probably erupt, and we're all probably going to die because of it, because of the blast or the fallout. I just don't think it's going to happen today. Knock on wood. It's a wooden table. I just don't think it's going to happen today. Okay? So, do I believe that Yellowstone's going to erupt? Yeah. Do I believe that all the animals are just pack my bags, playing a little Steve Miller, packing their bags, going to Mexico? No. Snopes, is it Snoop? Snopes says no. All the scientific journals say no. And they don't. It's not happening. Animals do have a sixth sense, but not today, I don't think. So rest assured, at least today, I don't think we're going to die today. Yeah, my sixth sense. You know, speaking of having a good sixth sense and coming in handy, you know when a sixth sense would come in handy? It's when you decide to go to a Coldplay concert with your mistress. Wouldn't it have been nice to have a sixth sense and say, I don't think I should do that. We don't think I should sit there, and we don't think, Coldplay. I'd be more ashamed of admitting that I was at a Coldplay concert. All right, Andy, we're done? We're done. Remember, everybody, spay and neuter. Adopt, don't shop, foster, rescue, volunteer, and hey, adopt a shelter pet today. Until next Monday, we're out of here.